this locked in. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to do this. Lost my gloves. Hi Ashley, how we doing? I'll wait here a little bit before I get started. I'm going to put my glasses on in anticipation that maybe some other people might join in. So, in the meantime, I'm trying to see if I can get the car unhooked. Well, Ashley, I'm not going to lie. I'm glad you're doing okay. Me, not so much. And I'll get into that here shortly. I'm trying to. Here's. I'm trying to get the car ready to be rolled out of the trailer. And I'm going to go over that too, the reasoning why we have to offload the Camaro. So, let's see here. They don't make these things that easy to work with. So now that can pull through. Okay, I'm trying to get the ratchet straps unhooked. I have to do the rear yet. I'm having an issue, as you always do with race cars, as anybody knows who has one or helped work on a race car knows that there's always some bullshit going on. So this week's bullshit is we ran, as you know, we put a thicker wire going from the alternator to the main battery disconnect switch to help with current and with powering electrical accessories on a race car. Example, ignition system, fuel pump. So between that and cleaning up some of the wiring with kind of retying stuff and other stuff, that's weird. The car won't start. It cranks over better, which is a good sign because that means with the bigger wire, we're getting more current to the starter and hopefully more current to everything else. However, for some reason, we are not getting fuel pump prime and we're not getting fuel injector pulse. So if I run a jumper wire to the fuel pump signal wire and to 12 volts, I can make the fuel pump run manually and I have fuel pressure. But the car won't run. So I think it's a relay that I have to be able to open the passenger door so I can access the passenger side kick panel and take that out. And the relay is behind that panel. And I'm hoping if I replace that relay, I'm hoping it'll work. If it doesn't, I have an electric winch. I can winch it back in the trailer. And I think at that point, I may decide to throw the towel in for the year on racing and start regrouping for next year. And I hate to say that because the car showed a lot of promise when we had it out in that one run. I think she wants to run. She wants to behave, but she's got some issues. And I think one of the big issues that we have that we're dealing with is dealing with antiquated electronics, which is something I mentioned before. We're going to address possibly get a little more power out of the combination with the the motor transmission. So that's what we have going on with that. So I want to make sure that all the ratchet straps are disconnected. I have the two disconnected in the front. I got to disconnect the two in the rear. Then that way only the winch is hooked up to the front of the car, and hopefully let it roll, roll it out of the trailer, connect it to the winch, slowly let it out. So, okay, Ashley, now that you brought that up, um, one of the reasons why I haven't um, been doing lives, I've been extremely busy with the situation with dad, and now the declining stuff going on with my mom. Um, so it's not good. I'm just going to preface everything with it's not good. Um, I wish I would have known 2 weeks ago what I know now. So basically, hospice or somebody dropped the ball, royally dropped the ball. Um, and some of it, I guess, I should take the heat for because I didn't read the manual handbook, whatever you call it, that you get when you sign on to hospice. The two things right now that I'm fighting are that when you go into hospice, hospice is supposed to be in communication contact with your primary care doctor. They are not. You're also supposed to continue taking the meds that you were on prior to signing into hospice, which my dad was told to stop immediately. I was not given a reason as to why, and I'm trying to find out why. And frankly, I'm running out of time because Dad's health's declining more rapidly than I was anticipating. Um, the other thing I'm fighting is upon me realizing this. So as soon as I realized it, I called my mom and I talked with my dad about righting the ship, about getting him back on the meds that he had been taking prior to signing for hospice. To which I was told, um, I'm not going to do that. I've suffered long enough and I'm done. I just want to go. I responded with, "Are you in any pain?" He said no. Maybe not the best response I could have had. But I told my dad, I said, I can't wear the hat of Eric, your son, right now with this. I said, I have to wear the hat where I'm power of attorney hat. I said, I don't agree with your wishes and your will. But as power of attorney of the estate, I have to. As your son, I don't agree with it. But as power of attorney, I have to facilitate it. So, difficult conversation. I don't know if that was the right thing for me to say. I still tell him I love him, all that. But frankly, I'm running out of time a lot quicker than I thought. The nurses say that the blood is pooling around his heart. That's why his chest is puffing out. So it's basically like he's drowning in his own fluid, if you will. He's now on oxygen, obviously bedridden. When 3 weeks ago he was on a stationary bike doing 5 miles. I'm having an extremely hard time accepting it. I'm trying to make sense of it and I can't. And I guess I never will. I guess at this point the only thing I can do is just go along with his wishes at this point. As much as I don't want to. I don't want to go along with it. I don't want to accept it. But now I'm in a legal obligation that I have to because I'm power of attorney. So, with that being said, I asked him if he could still write. I said I would need you to do me a favor. And he asked me, what is the favor that you want from me? I said, if you can still write. I said, do me a favor. I said, if you could write a letter for my son, Levi. As if you were talking to him when he used to come down and visit you every day. I said, when you're gone, he's gonna take it the worst. I said, he's gonna need something to hold on to and to read when you're gone. So he agreed he would do that, and I really hope he does. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to take it. It's I know my wife thinks I'm going to get out of racing and everything, and honestly, I don't think I can. I'm going to credit him with giving me that, the love of racing, the drive to do it. The knowledge is more or less was given to me by people Again, people who are passed on and are dead, but older gentlemen who did not have to help me. People, by all rights, could have just snubbed me and say, you know what, learn how we did, learn the hard way. But they were gracious enough, they were kind enough, they were, dare I say, human enough to see something in me and help me with what I have and what I know. And to those people living and dead that have helped me, I'm indebted to them. Now, when my dad passes on, sooner than later, I know the first fire up, the first burnout, the first stage, the first pass down the track, the first shutdown area. Excuse my French, it's gonna suck ass. But somewhere deep down, you know he'll be gone. I think he'd kick my ass if I didn't do it. And I think he'd want me to continue doing this once he's gone. And a day's gonna come when I have to walk into um, when I have to walk into his garage for the first time after he's gone. And I thanked him so much already for that car, but I'm gonna have to walk into that garage by myself. And I'm gonna have to take that car out. I'm not looking forward to that, but that day's coming too. But deep down, again, I think that's what he would want for me to do. And one day on this channel, I want to sit down with all of you and tell you from start to finish the whole story of how that car came about in our family. And why it's such a hard thing but yet an important thing in our family. And I am just grateful I had the opportunity to have the keys to that. I mean, it's truly a very special car from a man who was I hate to sound cliche-ish, but they don't make them like that anymore. It's been a hard week. It's been a week where, even though it's a 4-day work week, I think this is the hardest week ever. My original intent was to come on here tonight, go on the live and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm walking away from YouTube. Big E's Auto is no more. And I was just going to quit YouTube. I was going to quit the channel. I was going to quit all of it. I was going to walk away. I have people telling me the big thing with YouTube is content. And as y'all know, I haven't done a live in over a week and a half. So there was a night I was going to come on here and break the news to you guys that I was going to quit YouTube and that Big E's was going to be no more, and I was just going to fade off into obscurity to never be heard from again. I mean, there's how many other automotive YouTube channels out there. There's how many other people who do automotive things like I do. Like, what makes mine what makes mine any different? You know, these are all thoughts in my head. It's like, why am I doing this? Why should I continue doing this? Honestly, I still haven't got that answer yet. I don't know. It's just really hard for me to find time to do this right now. And even when my dad passes, it's no guarantee that I'm going to have more time or free time to do this like I want. I don't know. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know. You know, I hear a lot other people who have, you know, they're monetized, they have all the followers, they have a schedule they follow, they have a video that they put out every week or so, and I did that for about a couple of years. I know there was 2 years I went really hard at putting content on the channel, and this is before I started doing lives. I was broke too. I mean, it took a lot of money to buy parts to make videos to do the stuff that I was doing at that time. I've been doing this, what, almost 8-9 years I've been doing Big E's. And I think I'm still stuck at like 750 subscribers. You know, and then of course, it's just the algorithm. You don't understand this, you don't understand that. You're right, I don't. And there's a damn good possibility I probably never will. So I don't know what the future holds for the channel. I don't know what the future holds for me. I mean, maybe, I don't know what racing is going to hold in the future. I mean, like I said, I think I'm going to get back out there. I don't know if it's going to be this year. Like I said, it all depends on if the relay fixes the car or not. If the fuel pump relay does not fix the car, I think I'm throwing in the towel for the year. And there probably won't be any lives or anything because there'll be just really nothing to talk about racing wise. Um, and the weather's starting to change where, I mean, I don't have a shop, I don't have a garage, so everything I do is outside. So I'm getting older. My body doesn't take the abuse of being out in the cold as well. So I don't know if any projects to do or that I'll want to do in the freezing cold in a couple weeks. Uh, we'll. I guess time will tell what I decide. Um, I had a plan. I wanted to do some. I thought for sure I could do some painting videos this year, and that never happened. Just with everything going on, now it's the wrong time of year to do that. I can't even start on any kind of painting. I did, however, um, I did get my temp gun working today, so that's a good thing. So we have a little issue with the vet. I thought it was a miss, and really, it's I blew the mufflers out on the vet, so it sounds like crap, but the engine runs smooth. So took this thing, utilizing that tool to figure that out. But I mean, there's nothing really else I can dive into. Um, if we do get the Camaro running, there could be some content, racing content going up. Um, how soon or how whatever. I mean, it all depends on personal stuff right now and how things progress. Um, I would have a feeling. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to speculate how long he has. I don't do that. Um, but I think it's going to be a lot sooner than I originally thought. Um, my original thought was that just before the holidays he might go. Honestly, um, I don't even think it's going to be that at this point. And I think my biggest issue isn't going to be necessarily that, but it's going to be um, the fallout afterwards. How is everybody gonna? How long is it until everybody's okay? How is Levi, my son, gonna respond to it? Um, because I think he's gonna take it the hardest of them all, and I don't look forward to that. I'm not quite sure as a parent how I'm gonna deal with that, and I feel like I should know that, and I don't. So there's that aspect of it. So we'll wait and see. I mean, a lot of racing and other ideas right now are hinged on that whole situation. I can't have my son having issues, God forbid, wanting to hurt himself. Oh well, good luck with that. I'm going down to go racing. I can't. I can't do that. So I don't know what What is going to be entailed, what's going to come my way, I don't know. But lost my train of thought. Yeah, I don't know. So, I think for now, I think I'm going to go ahead and finish taking the ratchet straps off the car. And then tomorrow when the sun's out, if I'm able to, I'm going to try and roll the car somewhat out of the trailer with the winch. And we're going to see if this relay fixes what's wrong with it. And we're going to have our fingers crossed, and we're going to hope that that fixes it. I'm going to try my hardest to stay positive, as hard as that has been as of in recent history. With everything going on, I'm going to try and think that maybe just one time I can catch a break, and all this needs is a relay, and that's going to bring the car back. I don't know. We'll see. If it doesn't, we winch the car back in the trailer, and going to be a lot of soul searching going on if that doesn't fix the problem. And where racing and Big E's goes from here, I don't know. I mean, part of me doesn't want to give up on Big E's. I've been doing it for how many, for so long now. It almost becomes like part of you. But there's also a part of me, emotionally, physically, maybe mentally too, where I'm ready to throw in the towel and just be done with it. I can't say for sure. I mean, I guess it's one of those, when you've been doing something for so long, you kind of want to stick with it. And that's kind of how I was raised. You want to stick with it. It's almost as if I need to change my running shoes and run the marathon and try and get at least to the point where I monetize and see where it goes from there. But gosh darn it, I mean, I'm going to be 52. And part of me is like, what the heck are you doing messing with this kid stuff? So I guess we'll see what comes in the upcoming days of what happens with racing, what happens with Big E's, what happens just life in general, moving forward. So till next time, it's Big E signing off. As I always do, watch out for each other, take care of each other, and hopefully we'll see you next time right here on Big E's. Bye for now, guys.